So the Chiefs dynasty. Do the Chiefs got to win another Super Bowl to be considered a dynasty? I mean, this is their sixth straight AFC championship game. Six straight. Do you have to win to be considered a dynasty? 3 titles? Is that the criteria? I mean, the last one we saw was New England. And it depends on when you're talking about New England. I mean, they won 6 titles. They won 3 of 4, and then they went a decade without winning one. So I guess the question is, what's the criteria for our dynasty? Is it constantly being good? Do you have to get to the Super Bowl a certain number of times? Do you got to win a Super Bowl a number of times? I think what the Chiefs are what they're in the middle of right now, I would classify that as kind of a mini dynasty. If they get back to the Super Bowl, then yes. I don't think they have to win a Super Bowl, but I think what they're doing right now, because again, the names are changing. You know, it's one thing if you do it all with the same team, but the names are changing. I mean, hell, you got rid of Tyreek Hill and they went and won a Super Bowl without him. That's tough. That's tough to win without to go win a Super Bowl without with one of the best receivers in the National Football League that was on your team previously when you were winning. You remove him and then you go win. So I think the Chiefs are in the cusp of a new dynasty. I think they are. I think they're in the cusp of that, and like a mini dynasty. But if they go back to the Super Bowl, I think you got to say they are in a dynasty. I think you got to say that. And the reason that you got to say it is because 6 straight years, they've been to 4 Super Bowls in that time period. AFC championship game for 6 straight. I mean, that's impressive. That's impressive, especially in today's free agency age. So, and they were talking about Tyreek Hill couldn't stop being mean. What? To women and children. But he's still playing. So he didn't get arrested. Well, I guess he did get arrested, didn't he? Guess they didn't file any charges. I don't know. I don't want to touch that comment. We don't know exactly what's going on with that. He got kicked out of Oklahoma State. That was over a decade ago. Can people not change, or do we hold everything that everybody does, no matter what, against them forever? Don't get me wrong. What he did at Oklahoma State is despicable. Despicable. So it was absolutely despicable. You don't punch a woman in the stomach when they're pregnant. He did it. But he was a kid. Kids make stupid mistakes. Stupid mistakes. But we ain't talking about that. We're moving on. Chiefs won't win a playoff game. What? They've already won a playoff game. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean the Chiefs won't win a playoff game. They already have. As a matter of fact, they've won 2 this year. So I said they would. I mean, I said the Chiefs were going to beat Miami. I didn't think they'd beat Buffalo, but good for them. Good for them. No, I didn't say the Chiefs wouldn't win a playoff game. Stop it. But either way, yeah, the Chiefs, I think they're in a dynasty mode right now. Mini dynasty. They get back to the Super Bowl. Boom. They get back to the Super Bowl. I think it's a full-fledged dynasty. And if they happen to win the Super Bowl, nobody could deny it. I mean, in 6 years, you go to 4 Super Bowls and you win 3 of them with a back-to-back. I mean, you wouldn't be able to. Nobody can deny that. Nobody can deny that. So Now, I don't know why that. Let's see. I said, let's see. He said it before the playoffs started on a live. I said before the playoffs started on a live that the Chiefs wouldn't win a playoff game. That's one of the bigger lies. I picked the Chiefs to win because there was no way that the Dolphins were going to Kansas City and winning. There was no way that was happening. So if the point is to come on here and try to fluster me and lie, then we're just not going to do that. So, hey, Buster, my ears are on my head. Where are yours? Where are yours? Yeah, the Chiefs dynasty it's right there on the cusp. It's right there on the cusp. So we'll see where it takes them. But I think their dynasty, they're right there. They are right there. And if they beat Baltimore, I don't think you can deny it. I don't think you can deny it. 3 Super Bowl titles in 6 years. Oof. That's literally what dynasties are made of. So that's what dynasties are made of. But it's going to be interesting to see, man. I personally can't wait for the game. I can't wait for this weekend. It sucks because we know football's winding down, but I can't wait for the week. I think both of these games this weekend are going to be great. I think both the games this weekend are going to be phenomenal, to be quite frank with you. So, somebody's saying there's no way they beat Baltimore. I think there's a way. I just think the way to beat Baltimore, there's way more ways that Baltimore can beat the Chiefs versus the number of ways that the Chiefs can beat Baltimore. My man Mike DeRuler on YouTube says, Chiefs win if they can run the ball, stop the Ravens running the game. If not, it's a wrap. I say the same thing, Mike DeRuler. I said the same thing about the Chiefs last week. I said if they can run the ball against Buffalo, they'll win. And damn it, they ran it. Now, this is a different beast, though. Running the ball against Buffalo is one thing. Trying to run the ball against the Ravens, that's something different. That's something different. So that's a different animal, running the ball against the Ravens, because they don't want you to run the football. They don't want you to run the football. So it'll be a challenge. Now, having said that, the Chiefs have 2 All-Pros on the inside, and Creed Humphrey and Joe Tunney. You know, their front 3 with those 2, along with Trey Smith, are the best front 3 as an offensive line in the league. So we'll see. We'll see. Somebody over on TikTok saying Mahomes is the number 1 reader of the blitz as a QB in the NFL. I don't know how you measure that stat, but I know Mahomes is outstanding against the blitz. He's outstanding. So I don't like to get into a whole bunch of nerd stats, but one thing that I know is when you blitz Mahomes, if you don't get there, you're beat. If you don't get to Mahomes and you blitz, he beats you. Now, if you get there, that's something different. But if you don't get there, he beats you. So, yeah, and I think that they're going to have a pass rush that's going to try to get after them with 4 guys, maybe bring 5, because they love to bring their linebackers. And if they bring their linebackers, that means Kyle Hamilton is going to be on Kelsey. And if Kyle Hamilton, and I think he can handle Kelsey, because we've seen Kelsey take a step back this year, then it's going to be up to the outside receivers. Can they beat man coverage? Can they beat press coverage? Because I believe Mahomes is what goes underrated about Mahomes to me is he's one of the most accurate passers in the league. They get caught up with deep balls and throwing off-balance throws and stuff like that. What goes unnoticed or doesn't get talked about enough, in my opinion, is how accurate Mahomes can be with the football. I don't think people talk about that enough. Yeah, I don't think they talk about how accurate he can throw the football, especially deep down the field. But if Chiefs receivers can beat man coverage, because there'll be opportunities, they will be opportunities. If they can get off press and man coverage, it's going to be a good football game. If they can't, I find it tough. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult because I'm just not sure the Chiefs can run it. Doesn't mean they can't run it, but I'm not sure that they can run the football against the Ravens, man. The way that the Ravens have been playing. Now, granted, you can't take a grain of salt from last week because Houston's offensive line is not any good. It's not near what the Chiefs' offensive line is.